podcast. I'm sat here with Mario from Santa Sofia, if I pronounce that correctly, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is a coffee brand. So tell me, why Santa Sofia? What's with the...
First, thank you for inviting me today.
No problem, of course.
So I'm from Sofia in Bulgaria, so I've decided to name the company Santa Sofia. Santa means saint in Italian or Latino language.
Yeah.
So she had three daughters, Faith, Hope and Love. That's what my blends are around. So first one is Fede in Italian, means faith. Second one is Speranza, means hope. And the third one is Amore, which means love.
Yeah, I like Amore.
Yeah.
That's good. So which one's this one, sorry?
This one here at the moment is Fede, is the boldest one, is the first daughter.
Yeah.
It's 40% Arabica and 60% Robusta.
Okay.
So it's medium roast, so it's a bit bold coffee. It's not for everyone's taste. Some people may
Is
say
that like quite a stronger?
it is stronger.
I
so
love it stronger,
oh, that's nice. Yeah, absolutely. So this one is very, very bold coffee. First one in the morning, and then keeps you
keeps
you
you
awake.
going throughout the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
So sorry, we went a little bit off track there, but yeah. So just tell me, obviously you're into coffee now, but what was your first ever job?
My first ever job. So I moved in England 2006, and it was night portering in a hotel.
Oh,
So I was a
nice.
night porter, yeah.
Wow.
That's how I started in hospitality business, and then moved my way around to restaurants and cafes.
Yeah.
So by 2011, I was working in a very busy cafe in Leeds. I'm not gonna mention names just in case.
Just in case,
Yeah,
okay,
you never know.
That's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was like so busy, so become
Just not non-stop. Just
non-stop,
yeah.
like morning days, like crazy busy, just making coffees non-stop. So
So that's why you fell in love
that
with coffee.
kind of, yeah. Well, I hated it at the beginning because you're making so many coffees. You're like, what the hell is happening?
So have you always liked coffee then?
I always loved-
from obviously
Yeah,
you grew up.
since I was little
Yeah.
one, I always loved coffee. I was a big fan, and it just the taste and everything around it. So
It's really good, isn't it? Yeah, you find there's a lot of people obviously in England.
Yeah.
You either get people who like tea or who like coffee.
funny
but-
you say that. Sorry to interrupt
No,
you,
go.
but because coffee in England is kind of a modern thing.
Yeah.
When from where I'm from, it's been back for ages. So here people love, as you said, more tea. So just about the past 15, 20 years, people start learning more about coffee.
Coffee's going-
Yeah, it's going big
It's
now.
becoming really popular as well.
It is
I think
indeed.
everywhere you go, there's always a good coffee shop. There's good.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all about specialty coffee now. Where it's coming from? Is it fair trade? Is it how it's been produced? How it's been roasted and everything?
yeah,
Yeah.
people
So,
just don't want any old rubbish.
so
No.
there's a coffee festival every like 3 months now somewhere in England. So it means like
Keeps you busy.
keeps you
Yeah.
busy all the time.
That's good. So what made you get into coffee? Is it from you working in coffee, your previous love of it?
It's a bit of everything, to be honest with you. So it was in 2019 when I got this phone call and saying like, listen, we bring so much coffee to England. Would you like to be a part of it? And I was like, that just was like,
Who was that? Sorry.
that was for my best friend.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And it's like, we can either set up our own company or you can sell our brand. I was like, right, I don't want to sell anyone else's brand.
When you can make your own.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
can make my own. So I was like, okay, let me just start making a quick research regarding coffee and roasting and everything and packaging. So first thing was we found this roaster in England, and we start roasting different types of coffee because coffee can come from all over the world, pretty much from Asia, not from Europe unfortunately, but from
I was
Africa.
gonna say.
Yeah, and from America.
Yeah.
From South America, and so we tried it, but we didn't really like it because the next thing was the humidity in England was so high.
Right.
The coffee was not staying fresh after.
Okay.
So if you see here, they say like, oh, freshly roasted coffee delivered within 4 days from since being roasted. So there's a reason behind it, because if you go to Italy, for example, coffee could be like 4 months, 5 months, 1 year
Right.
roasted and packed, and it's still fresh after you open the bag. So
Here you've got essentially shorter shelf life. Is that right? Yeah.
kind of, yeah, because once it arrives, because of the humidity, you have much short life, exactly, and then once it's roasted, you have about 6 months, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not long, is it really?
Well, yeah, the other thing is like when they say freshly roast coffee once it's freshly roast, it tastes like lemon. So if you let it settle for a few weeks, then it has more profile, more character. The taste
Taste is different.
completely different. So people nowadays they drink freshly roast coffee like it's been roasted like 4 days ago, and they're like, oh, it's very sour. I was like, there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Let it settle for a bit. Open the back after that.
So with the roasting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
No,
very
it's alright.
interested.
No, it's got
So
me.
with the roasting of the coffee, would that typically be done here, or would it be done
Abroad.
where it's grown?
No, no. Well, it grows. My coffee I'm buying from it comes from Costa Rica, Colombia, Brazil,
Okay.
and Honduras, and the robusta comes from India. So then I move it to Italy, and then we roast it, pack it, and bring it to England. We tried to roast it and pack it in England, but as I said, we were not pleased with the feedbacks and the taste.
So that's because you've bought all the coffee here to roast it.
Yeah.
Bought the coffee, right? Okay. So the roasting process has to take place.
Well, for us, yes, because if you're a big company, you can humidify your room and you can produce better coffee. But the one we tried, it didn't work well for us. So as soon as we moved it abroad, as soon as we moved it to Italy, people were going crazy about it. So I mean, like
It changes.
it changes,
that
yeah,
much.
straight away.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, the first blend I did. I love bitter coffee, but not everyone does, so people hated it.
So you thought,
So-
I'm onto something. This is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, but it was so funny because I did 20% Arabica and 80% Robusta, so that's bitter. I mean, like bitter coffee.
So for anyone that doesn't know, what's the difference between them two?
Okay, so Arabica is growing on higher altitude,
Okay.
so it's more sweet. It has more lighter taste.
Yeah.
When the Robusta, it's a smaller bean. It has triple or double the caffeine inside,
Wow.
so it has more bitterness and more earth taste.
So that's obviously where the percentage comes in
Yeah.
to make it taste a lot different.
Absolutely. Well, nowadays it's very modern to say 100% Arabica.
Yeah.
But that doesn't say anything to people because it can be roasted so many different ways. Try to imagine a steak, fillet steak, for example.
Yeah.
It could be rare, could be medium rare, medium, or well done. Pretty much is similar to the coffee beans.
Right.
So they could be light, medium, or dark roast.
Yeah.
So what it means is like if they're light, for me that's undercooked. I mean for my
Yeah.
for my preference. That doesn't mean everyone should hate
Sorry.
it.
Hello, are you okay?
Have you managed to have a look?
We're ready to order. I think definitely.
Excellent. Any allergies before I start?
No allergies.
Lovely, what would you like?
I'm all good.
Can I please have the chicken milanese?
Yes.
Thank you.
And then can I get the Asian style crispy duck salad?
Yeah, do you want the big portion or the small one?
Yeah, the main portion one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Perfect. I'll take
Thank
your
you.
menu. Is that
Yes.
Wonderful.
for you?
Thank you.
I'll
Cheers.
leave you to it until I bring you food.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Dan.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So where
Sorry,
were we?
sorry.
No, it's okay. The charming part, making a podcast in a restaurant, but I love it.
It's good. I like it because
It's more atmosphere.
Yeah,
it's
more
it's
atmosphere.
you don't feel like you're in a office and they're like, oh, what do they say
yeah. I
now?
find a lot of them are a bit stuffy and a bit boring. Whereas
Yeah,
this
this
we're
one
out
is
to lunch, we're just
yeah, love
having
it.
a chat. Yeah.
Absolutely, no,
It's better.
very well thought.
Good.
Very good recommendation.
So you were saying about the
Types of roasting for
Types
the
of
beans.
roasting, yeah,
so
so-
yeah, everyone has their own preference, and so people aim to say like 100% Arabica, that's the best coffee. Nothing like that because the weather is different in different countries. It depends where the coffee comes from. It depends how it's been roasted, if it's been washed, and it's so many little things behind it.
So although the bean can be the same, the way that it's treated thereafter can be wildly different. Meaning
Completely different.
the end
Yeah.
cup and grind. Can be
Absolutely,
completely
you can buy 100% Arabica. That's a dark roast from certain brand, which they're different graded. Let's say like some of them are free triple A, some of them are Bs, etc. So that means what's the score on this coffee bean from this farm or etc. How it's been treated. As you
Okay,
said.
so like, I guess like a fruit, if it's like a
Exactly.
perfect fruit, or if it's
Yeah,
bit
absolutely.
bruised and-
Yeah, if
yeah.
it's been looked after and everything, and people say like, oh, this 100% Arabica should be the best.
not
Until you
necessarily-
try it, I mean, like my best, my best blend is the 80% Arabica, 20% Robusta.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot feel the Robusta. It has the character. People love it. People go crazy about it. It sells easily.
Right.
Yeah, everyone seems to be happy with it. But I go to certain places to try to promote my brand, and they're like, "Oh, we only buy 100% Arabica." And for a fact, I never bring 100% Arabica to a restaurant because it's more expensive.
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, no." I was like, let me just make it for you to try it.
Yeah.
Even one of the bars down the road from here, I'll tell you later when
Right,
we're not
yeah,
recording
yeah.
for certain reasons. So it's like the owner was like, no, 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 only 100% Arabic. I was like, let me just make a few coffees and you see.
Try it.
Yeah, just try it. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm gonna leave you few bucks just
Yeah.
for your own
Yeah.
try. And all of his staff was going crazy about, like, listen, this coffee is miles better. But in his head was like, no, 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 it has to be 100%
He doesn't
Arabic.
realise that
Yeah,
that could it
but it
essentially means nothing.
it
Doesn't it?
essentially means nothing. I was like, well, that's your personal choice. I respect that. I wish you all the best. But if one day you decide to try something else, please give me a shout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Wow.
left it there and there. But it was like that. He was so naive. It had to be 100% Arabica.
But surely you'd. I mean, I think this is a problem with a lot of things anyway.
Yeah,
People don't take the expertise off the experts.
that's it.
You know, you're the person who knows about. You've built this coffee brand. You understand exactly what there is to know. He's a restaurateur or has
Yeah.
a cafe or what have you. Not necessarily is that his knowledge and what he knows.
Very true. But someone told him this is it, and since then he believes that's how it should
Yeah.
be, which is fair enough. But I was like, you need to try different styles to
Of course.
see what works for you, because senior people, they like a bit more character, a bit more stronger coffee, because they've been drinking coffee for the past
yeah.
40 years, for example. And then you bring in 100% Arabica, they drink one coffee, they don't feel anything, they don't get awake or anything like that. They're like, it's not good for me.
Yeah.
But if you go on Amazon, for example, or eBay, and you put some coffee beans or coffee bag, the best seller is gonna be the ones similar to my
blend.
recipe. Yeah, exactly the same blend, which tells me like that's the best seller in England.
You'd think so.
I'm not gonna say the name of the brand, but whoever is listening, like, I hope they just do it as a research.
Do a little research.
Do
We won't
lis-
mention the brand.
Yeah, we're not gonna mention the brand. Just put like coffee beans, for example,
And it'll come up.
and whatever comes on the top. Then verify my recipe with their recipe. That's 40%.
pretty much the same.
Yeah, literally.
That's
like,
crazy,
yeah.
isn't it?
That tells me like, right, so many people love this style of coffee, so we're gonna do this, and then for office people we're gonna go more Arabica, because salespeople, we are salespeople,
Yeah.
we have to drink so many coffees a day due to so many meetings.
We need to keep awake.
We need to keep awake, but if you drink from this one, it's so strong. If you drink 2 coffees, you'll be buzzing all day, if that makes sense.
Good.
So
I'm definitely going to have a few. I've got a coffee machine at home, so I'll be having
I hope you enjoy
having
it.
a few. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously the coffee and it's stronger. So
Yeah.
What you want the coffee to do will start working,
Absolutely, but some people nowadays, the new generation, they love weak coffee, so
so they can have more. And
yeah, we call it tiramisu. So you want tiramisu basically, you want a dessert. You don't
I
want a
really
coffee.
like tiramisu.
Yeah, I love tiramisu as well, but in the morning I want a strong coffee to wake me up and like give me that
Give you the
energy.
kick,
Exactly. But nowadays, all of them, they're like, oh, I really like something light and like put so much sugars inside and
Yeah.
go wild.
What's your thoughts? I mean, obviously you're not having sugar in that. What's
No.
your thoughts with having sugar in coffee? I suppose it depends on personal preference.
Depends
but-
on the personal preference. Like, as I said, so many places they put double shot in the coffee, so that makes it a bit more stronger. So many places put single shot. It depends on the blend as well.
Of course.
Every place they have to find out their own recipe, so they cannot copy it someone else, because every coffee brand
It's
does
something different.
something different. Yes,
Which is great because I guess a lot of people tend to think of coffee as it is what it is.
it is
but
what it
it's-
is.
it's not.
That's how.
It's-
No, it's
I
so
suppose it's
different.
like flour, for example, with a chef.
Yeah.
Although, your recipe might be
Yeah.
100 grams of flour. I guess it depends on the brand.
Yeah,
on the
double
type and how it
zeros.
works,
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely right there.
But people don't think about that. It's
No, they don't.
Flour's flour.
It's
Coffee's coffee.
Coffee's
Yeah.
coffee. Full stop. But it's
Yeah.
not. It's so complicated than this, and that's why some places do so well, because they have done their research for their recipe to be just perfect. It's like if you use 100% Arabic, you use double shot. it makes it perfect mixture between milk and coffee. People go crazy about it. And then there's the other places which use very bold coffees and they put double shot and makes it bitter as hell.
Yeah.
And they blame it on the brand, but the brand has nothing to do with that because
It's the way that they
Yeah.
need to adapt for.
yeah, if I supply certain place with my coffee, I make sure all of the staff knows how to make my coffee based on their customer needs.
Yeah.
If they like it strong, you do this. If they like it normal, you do this.
That's going like above and beyond, though, isn't it? I guess
have
because normal coffee brands probably just supply it. That's it done.
That's it, yeah,
Whereas you add that bit of training in there, explain.
The successful one, they go and train them, but the normal brands you can buy it from everywhere, from the shop, etc. And that's it. You buy and then you do whatever you want. But then, if you're a customer and you drink the coffee, who are you gonna blame? The person who made it or the company that provided with?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I want to
Yeah.
make sure when someone said like, "Oh, we provide Santa Sofia," they're like, "Oh, actually, yeah, that's nice
It's
coffee."
good coffee.
Yeah.
So I mean I like a flat white. I like mine quite strong.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You got the latte instead.
They bought a latte instead, which I mean
It
that's-
happens.
Yeah, it happens. It's disappointing, but yeah, unfortunately. So you said obviously going back a little bit. You said about when you first started. It
Yeah.
was one of your friends that mentioned it to you. So was your friend importing coffee at that point? And
Yeah, from his side of the family, they're roasting. They're doing everything from the back of house.
okay,
But because I want to be more hands-on, what has to be put together. Well, we had to come together to the name and then the blend and everything. So I had to drink about 16 coffees in
What a
2
shame.
hours.
What a shame.
What a shame! You cannot sleep for the next 3
I
4
was gonna
days.
say,
It was
I bet
like
you couldn't sleep.
crazy. So normally we make espressos and then we get with a little teaspoon. We tried how it feels and everything, aftertaste, and what was I doing? I was just going for
Really?
yeah, I was
just necking it.
I learned my mistake there and then. But yeah, because after the third coffee, all of the flavors just mixed, so it couldn't make much difference. So then we come up with this one.
Yeah.
And what was my biggest mistake in life is starting a business with one blend.
Right.
So that was the biggest mistake I made. So
Why would you say that was a mistake?
So if
Because
someone-
surely that got you.
that got
was
me
you.
where I'm now.
Yeah.
But I could have been so much
Further
further.
on.
Yeah, because I go with this to approaching a new customer, and if you say I don't like that, what else do you have?
It's difficult. Yeah.
You're like, well, what you on about?
This is it.
This is it.
This is my
That's the whole
coffee,
company
yeah.
behind it. They're like,
So
fine.
when people did say that, obviously when you started,
yeah,
people would say, "What else have you got?"
yeah.
And you can't. Have you been back to them people since and tried, or
Well, I have indeed, and now they're customers, which is a good part.
That is good, yeah.
that is good. But
so lesson learned there is
yeah,
if you can't have something to offer and later on you do, go back and speak to them again. and see
exactly. But I could have spent my time so much better if I was a bit more organized back in the day, to get this straight from the start, and then just start attacking as a bigger company. So
But I guess with you having the one brand, because for me, one of the things with business is there's always like barriers, and I need to do this or I need to do that. I think with that, you've got it done, you've got it out there. Whereas if you were doing two, you'd probably try to perfect two. Or
yeah,
three,
that was you're
it
right.
might slow you down.
I never thought about that, but now it makes sense because for this one it took me about 6 months to come to the recipe, and
So
then
if you had two,
yeah.
knock maybe a couple of months off for learning. You'd 10 months
Absolutely,
in.
yeah. When I was very eager to get this one as soon as possible because I always been in the hospitality industry in England, especially in Leeds, and I know pretty much most of the places. Especially, my idea was at the very beginning to supply small independent places and to teach them how to provide good coffee so they can start being more successful.
Which is so important.
Yes, and in the ways it worked very well until small independent places, some of them they just want to stay small independent and they've just been doing ABC for whole of their life.
They're happy with what they're doing.
they're happy with what they're doing, and then they're complaining they're not making money or profit or etc. And then you go to someone who's hungry to provide extra mile for the customers to be happy. You go to them and they're happy to listen to you.
Let's do it.
They're happy to do everything.
So, based on that, how did you secure your first customer?
First customer. So
So obviously,
before I answer
it
this,
took you 6 months to make that, did it?
yeah, so
And then,
I set up the company in December 2019.
yeah,
My first coffee arrived in 14th of January 2020, 2 months before COVID.
Oh no.
So who starts a business before a massive pandemic? Come see me for
Everybody.
so
Wow.
coffee arrives. I'm always been in the hospitality industry. My connections are very strong, so I send a few messages here and there. I was like, guys, I'm starting coffee company.
Great.
Everyone's response was like amazing. As soon as your coffee's here, come see us. We start buying from you. So
That's good.
that was
See
amazing.
your connections, your friends, and everything.
That was amazing onwards, right? So in my head, I already start looking for Range Rover. Biggest mistake ever. So I'm going to.
You're starting to celebrate before
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Of
That-
course.
That was the
But
biggest.
why not? Because you're excited. It's
Yeah, you're excited. Like you already have it on people messaging you back, like, "Come see me. We buy it. We buy so many kilos a week." And I was like, "Yes,
This is gonna work.
That's gonna work
I
big time."
suppose the whole time before then,
Yeah.
it's
A bit
you don't
no-
know, you don't
yeah.
know, and then all of a sudden people start saying,
Yeah. So,
yeah, I'll do it.
So coffee arrives. I leave it 2 days. I go out with samples and everything. Big smile on my face because I already have this customer in the back. It's already there. It's
Well,
already
yeah.
confirmed. Yeah. I go there like, oh yeah, just to bring you some sample. Thank you very much. It's like, we're just gonna buy 1 kilo. I was like, what I'm gonna supply you because it says if you provide me under that price range, we're yours. Oh no, what I meant was like just to try it, like just we're gonna help you with $1. I'm there like made a massive purchase, so ending up in the warehouse and like trying to sell it, and everyone was like, no, just $1. I was like, maybe I got it wrong. English is not my first language. Maybe I didn't. Maybe
Understand,
misread something. So I'm going to the second friend. Now a bit more cautious. Same copy paste. Like, oh no, we're happy with our supplier.
but we're just gonna try it.
Yeah. No, not even just gonna try. We're just gonna buy $1. I was like, right, maybe I'm the problem here. What had happened was, I learned this after a few months later. If you act small, and you are small, people are a bit nervous to change supplier because they don't know what they're gonna get.
Yeah. Consistencies.
Consistency, service, etc. Which is fair enough, but in my head was like, we're mates. We should have done business. You should have supported me, and I support you. That's
course.
yeah. But it wasn't like that because other places. Well, where I'm going with this is like I was expecting like a bit of support. Like, okay, we buy half from you, half from them. If you match the flavor, so customers don't see the difference. Yeah.
It's too much.
So, which was good because most of them were kind of a similar flavors, but I didn't get that. I was like, okay, Then depression become because 2 months later, COVID came, the country got shut down. I was like, right, I have so much coffee.
And obviously coffee shops aren't
Yeah.
open, restaurants
Yeah,
aren't open.
and there was the biggest boom about support your locals, support small businesses and everything. But still, I didn't get any of those because my head was business to business. It never been online or e-commerce.
Yeah, never direct customer.
Yeah. Then
I suppose that's thinking about it now. The market. Most people I know who like coffee have a
Yeah.
coffee machine in their
Yeah.
house, and a lot of people have a really good coffee machine in their house now. It's not. They're not like the. I mean, I'm not saying Nespresso machines are terrible,
Yeah.
but the people have a proper coffee machine.
yeah,
where,
you're right.
you know,
Yeah, they invest so much money.
a
because
lot of people do. I think it's important.
it is important, but in my head was like I did want to supply business to business because of training them how to make a good coffee, etc. Make these connections get stronger because one business when they buy a whole box, one box 12 kilograms. That shifted. I'm happy.
Yeah.
When okay, now my e-commerce website start picking up and it's happy, but never advertise it. I never,
Really?
never.
That's good.
Which is amazing. Yeah, I mean, like I never pushed any sales. Actually, I don't want them to buy from it. To be honest,
Yeah.
so if it, I know it sounds weird,
So
but
hence why you're not going to spend £1,000 on a marketing budget to get people to the website.
I
No.
don't want them to buy. I just want them to open it. I don't want them to buy anything from there.
But it's there as an option for people.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, like even when someone put a purchase on the website, I got a bit mad. I was like, oh my god, do you know how long of my time has to go back to sell this shipment now? And people were like, I've never seen someone so unhappy to sell online.
sales, yeah.
I was like, I prefer business to business because you make these connections. You go there, you
I
supply them.
suppose it's all about, as you say, as well about the training and
Yeah,
showing
it's
people how to do it,
everything.
how to do it properly.
All of my customers are like, I know it sounds weird to say family, but it's like they're like close friends of mine now. So They call me like, I'm ever so sorry. I forgot to order coffee. Is there any chance you can meet me halfway? I was like, listen, the other day I can say it out loud. I supply Chop House,
Yeah,
and I love Chop House with.
Clubhouse is great.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the
We were
bam.
going to record that today, but
All
unfortunately
right.
couldn't.
Yeah,
Closed.
but it's, the bar manager Jack, absolutely outstanding guy. He's been like massive support, and he called me Saturday night about 9 o'clock. It's like, sorry, sweetheart, can you bring some coffee because I got told we have 4 bags, we have none. I was like, I'll be there in 20 minutes, but then I had to wake up for 1 o'clock to go to the airport to my other job, but
Yeah.
we'll speak about later. And I was like, you're such a legend. Let me make you some coffee. It's like, just to see that someone appreciating your efforts
Definitely.
gives you everything. It's like,
But it's also, I think that's the perks of going with a smaller company.
yeah.
There's a. Have you ever seen The Office?
No,
The-
I have
the
never.
Ameri- oh, okay,
The
so-
American style.
Yeah.
I always tried it, but
Couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah?
really, really love it. It's a great show. But there's a scene in that where two of them go on a sales call, and they're talking about, they're like the local supplier,
Yeah.
and then there's like a big corporate company that
Yeah.
this customer already uses. They say, "Oh, can we borrow your phone?" And they dial the number of their current supplier. It takes them ages. Press 1 for this, 2 for that, 3.
Yeah.
And it takes them ages to get through. And then all of a sudden, they just ring their office and someone answers straight away. And that's it. They've got through. So it shows the difference between the suppliers.
absolutely, yeah.
Food's here. Amazing. Thank you.
There's-
The duck salad.
Yeah, that's for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Wow,
you very
that
much.
looks
Cheers.
incredible.
Did you want any extra sauces at all?
Should
No,
be all right.
I'm
I
fine.
think.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
You
Cheers.
out for drinks?
I'm fine. Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it.
Perfect,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, so we'll take a little break there and we'll be back soon. Okay, so we're back. How
Yeah.
was your food?
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was really good, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was big portions as well.
Really big
like-
portions. I'm quite full, even though I had a salad. I'm trying to be good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, last podcast it was a nice big, I think it was like a chicken burger.
Okay.
That was quite a lot.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to have a salad and be better.
Healthy.
So we'll see what happens. So we left off. We were talking about. I was saying about the office when they
Yeah.
call up and it sort of shows you the difference between a local branch and these big national companies.
Yeah.
Obviously that was fed from when you were saying about
The
that
difference.
you look after Chop House and you could just drop everything and go and
Absolutely.
see them.
Who's gonna bring you coffee at 9 o'clock at night on Saturday?
Not many people.
Pretty much no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's amazing thing because they can rely on me. So
Yeah. So have you found obviously going back a few different stories that you've had, a lot of it's centered around friends and people that you know and like.
It was. So yeah, let's go back to this one. So coffee arrives, I try a few people, they then turn me down and I learned like I shouldn't act as a small business, although I had a bag of coffee with a sticker on it. So
Yeah.
it looks like a brand new company, let's be
Yeah.
honest. You cannot act like a big company. So then and there COVID-19 came, it hit, so only a few cafes were open for takeaways only. And I've decided how am I gonna approach them. I cannot do with COVID-19 going face to face because
Because it doesn't work like that.
So
Yeah.
I start sending Facebook messages,
Right.
written down like, would you like a free sample, and then we can take it from there. And funny enough, one small cafe in Chapel they responded back to me after within 2 weeks. That was June 2020. Until then, I didn't really sell. I just sold here and there on
Yeah.
eBay.
So,
Yeah.
you secured your first customer
Yeah.
in Chapel Island. So they messaged you.
They
on
responded to my message on
That's great.
Facebook saying like, oh, we would
So
like
at that time you were sending messages to
so many places.
multiple people.
Yeah.
You've
And
got to.
at that time was only takeaways working and only like 1 in 5 cafes operating. So I had to find small independent cafes to try to supply them.
Yeah.
Obviously, restaurant wasn't operating back then. They were shut. So when July time, I think Boris let us start operating the restaurants. I start being a bit more active. So
Getting out there.
yeah, get out there with the samples and everything. Nice brochure. Well, it wasn't a really nice brochure, but explaining
It was,
what.
yeah.
It was something like because let's be honest, nobody's gonna buy your product without trying it, especially to supply them. They
Yeah,
want
I think something like coffee as well. You kind of
you have to
you
give
need
some
to
for
try
free.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
you need to try it. You need to go and you need to make it for them.
so you have to put that into your figures essentially that
Yeah, that you're losing.
you're going to be losing.
Yeah, the thing is like if you sign them as a customer,
Perfect.
2 months, 3 months, you're gonna start making money out of them. But until then, you're losing. So it's in the profit and loss balance sheet. So
Yeah.
you cannot go
Gotta
and yeah.
give stuff away for free.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nobody's gonna be like, oh, let me buy from you because that's how I feel like.
I feel like it's going to be nice.
Yeah, I
You
feel
need
like
to try it
you need to try it, and you cannot just give $1. You have to give free
so they
because
can try it.
yeah.
Their customers can try it.
exactly, because if the customers don't like it, they're not gonna buy it. And that's the other thing is so you go there, start sampling. The problem is you need to find the right person you have to give it to.
Yeah.
And best way is like if you can make it yourself to them. So I always ask them if I can make the coffee for them because
That's
No.
really good.
yeah, not everyone can make a good coffee, and then if they cannot make a good coffee or their barista cannot make a good coffee, they're gonna blame your company again.
Of course.
So I always like, oh, if you have like 1 hour, 30 minutes stop, I just come and make the coffee, nothing else. I'm not gonna try to sell you anything you don't need to buy. I'm just gonna come in, make you the coffee, and I'll go.
That's good.
Yeah, because people like, oh, they don't really want to spend time with this guy. He's gonna try to sell me, tell me how amazing he's going. No, I just want to make you the coffee. That's it.
That's it.
Then you
You
decide.
try it.
Yeah, you
Go.
try it. I'll show you your barista how to make it for your future customers, and then they can tell you feedbacks. Always the
That's
best way. Yeah,
I think as well it alleviates that pressure off, as you say, off the cafe owner or whoever. They don't want to sit there and be sold to. No, these days it doesn't work like that.
it doesn't.
It's more of like account management, looking after people,
Yeah.
discussing
Yeah.
ways to work together. So
Yeah.
that whole, I'm not going to take up much of your time. I'm literally just going to come in, I'll make you a coffee, see what you think. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with a bag, and
Absolutely. If someone agrees, that means they're like 90% my customers already.
because that's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part. Someone to agree to for you to go to make the coffee.
Yeah.
Because the other part is the cost.
Yeah,
But that's where you become to be a bit more entrepreneur, because you have to know which brand they're buying already and how much money they're paying for it. Because if they're buying something for on the very, very, very low from I don't know what shop that
yeah.
you
So
know
cheap.
cheap,
Yeah.
they're not gonna have a taste, they're not gonna have a flavor.
Yeah.
So you don't want
So
to
then it
compete.
doesn't matter.
That means like you cannot go compete with the price
Yeah,
because that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
Unless they're looking to change. So people, I love it when someone say like, "Oh, we don't sell much coffee." And it's like, well, there's a reason for that.
that's why you should get a better coffee.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, we don't want to change because we don't sell coffee." I was like, it's right there.
You've got a better coffee.
If you have a
It's gonna
better
help.
coffee, people's gonna buy it. And then was this place saying this to me. I was like, let's try it. You know what? I'll give you like $12 for free.
Right,
That cost me like a fortune for me.
of course, because that's just straight out your pocket.
Yeah,
You're not
straight
making
out.
profit. Yeah.
I was like, if by the half true to the box, your sales increase on the coffee, that tells you something. Okay, I was like, but I have to train all of you guys to do exactly the way I do the coffee.
Yeah.
So funny enough, for them to sell $12, it takes them 2 months, which is not embarrassing, man.
So that's
But
what it
be-
would have taken them originally.
Maybe even longer, because at the end they were selling coffee like crazy, and they're
Really?
like, "Oh, it's because of the barista." I was like, "No, it's everything put together. It's the whole packaging."
The staff are trained
Yeah.
properly. They know how to make the coffees properly.
Yeah.
The coffee that you're supplying is
Yeah.
correct. It's a better quality all
It's a
round.
better quality.
People are going to come back for it.
Yeah, after food, you want the coffee, but it happened to me often, like with my mates. We go to a certain place, I'm not gonna mention names. So we eat there, and you want the coffee, and they're like, "Oh, let's go somewhere else because coffee here is, you
Go
know."
somewhere, go somewhere for a good coffee.
Yeah, that's it. And I was like, actually, yeah, it makes sense. But
course
if
it
I
does.
give them good coffee, well, we won't have coffee here.
I think that's so. That idea with that customer where
Yeah.
I'll give you 12 bags halfway through if you're not selling more coffee, but that is great that you've done that. Had the
But it's
initiative.
very big risk for me.
Of course it is. Of course
Because
it is.
if he says to someone else, they're like, "Oh, we want this." So I've learned my lesson. Give them up to $2. It depends if it's gonna be a good account for me. Because end of the day, one box is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean that's like, how can I describe it? If out of one bag, depends on your recipe in house, you can make up to 120 coffees. Depends on how many
on a
shots.
bag like this.
Yeah, 1 kilogram.
Kilo
Well,
bags.
if you use single shot, which is 7 to 7.5 grams, you can make 140 coffees.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's pushing it a lot.
Right.
Normally people use double shots, but this bag is very strong. So let's say 100 coffees average.
Yeah.
Your profit on this as a cafe is 94%.
That's
That's huge, right? But obviously you have different costs involved, sales, labor, however. So
course,
we just
yeah.
but it's decent return. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So if there's me coming in and I'll say, I'll give you a great product, amazing price, you make great GP. What's stopping you right here, right now? And you say we don't sell much coffee.
But
It's-
you can make more money by
can
selling a better
yeah.
coffee
And it doesn't make sense because people aim to think if they change supply, it's like changing a barber. It's very hard decision for them.
changing a barber is
Yeah,
very difficult.
It's
decision.
very difficult, and not everyone's willing to do it. But changing a coffee supply is kind of a similar nowadays.
Yeah.
You have to go and pursue them. So
But for the people who are just buying the cheap rubbish,
yeah, I mean,
it's
like,
easier to change.
yeah,
I guess.
exactly. I just see whoever buys from Costco, and I go to them and say, "Buy for me."
Just stand outside Costco waiting.
Yeah, I was thinking about it at some point.
not a bad idea,
It's
yeah.
not. I was thinking. I was like, well, if I stand like 6 hours next to the coffee coffee products and
Yeah.
bring my business cards, I'm like,
Just put maybe staples.
Yeah.
Coffee bags.
yeah, it's like someone trying to buy Lavazza. I'm like, hey,
Come here, try this.
go mate, I'll bring it to you.
That's
But,
a great idea.
I will-
We're very cheeky, but it'd work.
listen,
Yeah.
if it works, it works.
works. You've got to do what you
Desperate
can do.
times, desperate measures.
So talking about desperate times, desperate
Yeah.
measures. Obviously, before you secured that business of the first cafe that you've been messaging, obviously you've been messaging loads of people.
Loads of people we did.
But before that was a pandemic.
Yeah,
So you'd had a chat with a few of your friends.
yeah,
Some of them had bought little bits.
yeah.
But at the point, was it quite difficult? Were not many sales, and you,
There were no sales whatsoever. I was doing my invoices on a spreadsheet using Word because there was nothing happening. So
Right.
I was trying eBay, I was trying Amazon, I was trying Facebook Market.
so that's really your first bit of time after you just set it up. You spent all this time working towards it.
I had to do everything myself, setting up the company, doing my designs from the back, my profiles on the coffee, everything myself. So for me, the pandemic for my coffee business finished 2021, so 1 year and a half. About June, August time,
Right.
then is when my business started taking off from the ground, because 1 year and a half I was going backwards because
Did you think about quitting?
all the
Stopping?
time. It's like at least like twice a day. Like what is it worth it? Like, you know, it's
It's a shame, isn't it? Because after all that time and that, I suppose in your mind, you're building this coffee brand. You've got a lot of contacts. You know a lot of people. It's a surefire business that's going to work. And
I
then
was so
when you've
sure.
done all that work and you've built it, it's
Yeah.
everything. It's perfect. You can't sell it.
You cannot sell it. You cannot sell it.
That's disheartening. isn't it?
Oh, it's so it was, and there were like no reasons behind it. That was the hardest part because you go and ask open questions like, "Tell me, what's wrong with it?" And they just don't want to take the product to try it. That was the, oh, we're happy. It's like, as I said, it's like it was so hard. It was like depression times as well. You're like, shall we just call it quits? See what's the losses and then move.
And see.
Yeah,
move on.
that's it. But then,
What made you keep on?
well,
What made you keep going?
because I was contacting so many places and so many friends, and you know what? Fun fact is, people I didn't know that well. I just met them once or twice, and I told them about the coffee business. They were helping me so much more than.
The people that you've known for a long time.
Yeah, I hope that some people don't listen, but it's if
Well,
you-
no, but
yeah.
I mean, friends do help you, but sometimes
Friends help you big times as well, but you so many random you wouldn't expect them to go and push you so much further. So if you go on my website and about us, I have written down we'll be ever so thankful to, and I have mentioned so many names
Yeah.
that
That helped you.
they helped me like big times, and like I wanted to do it on the back, so on the next few bags at the back with the small letters I'm gonna mention their names.
That's
Obviously for certain reasons I cannot put their surnames.
Yeah.
But they know who they are
Yeah.
because you know, I appreciate every small help. It's unbelievable the way they've been like coming together, and like one friend of mine does videography. She came in like, you know, just cover my costs, made a massive video.
Wow.
Other people come in, start pushing and like advertising my coffees to the big brands. And I was like, you wouldn't expect it, but having this it means so much for
Of
small
course it does.
business. Like,
And I
some,
think you need to, obviously you've helped, sorry, people have helped you, and I imagine in the background you've helped
yeah,
people get
all the-
you know on the on the flip side of it.
absolutely, all the time you have to support each other.
Of
Otherwise,
course you do.
what's the point? But
Yeah,
I have so many friends that does coffee as well, and although we could be like competition,
yeah, like competitors.
yeah, competitors, I don't touch their customers. I hope they don't touch mine.
Out
I mean,
of
like,
respect, though, isn't it?
yeah, out of respect, it's like if someone calls me and says like, "Oh, can you provide us this coffee?" and I ask them which one to use at the moment, and they mention their name, I say like, "I'm ever so sorry, but
Okay.
I can't." It's like out of respect. I was like, if you change it and then a few years later you contact me, that's a different story. But at the moment,
That's
I would,
good.
I wouldn't put my product out of respect for them because they're the same level as me, independent startups, and it's like, I know how hard it is out there to get a customer, and I was like, better speak to them, let them know what you're not happy with, they can fix it. Than
Wow.
you just change it like as if nothing
Not many
happened.
people would do that.
Of course not, but it's like we support each other. It's like with competitors. Well, I call him mates as well. Emiliano, he's called. He's a very nice guy. He's a grafter, and we share some kind of information like, oh, where did you get this? How did you do that? And like,
You help each other.
you have
with
to
them.
help each other. And then when I see his brand somewhere, I respect. I say like, yeah, it's nice guy, it's nice coffee. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So
That's
it
really
works.
good.
Yeah, between me and him, we have internal jokes like, oh, I know why they put biscuit next to your coffee, and then he's like, "Oh, why?" I was like, "Because it's undrinkable without the biscuit." And like,
You've got to have that,
yeah, you have
haven't
to
you?
have
Of
that
course.
banter, but it's nice. But yeah, you have to support and you have to respect your competitors, and you have to know what they're doing all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you have to be like either matching it or try to offer something better.
I like it.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's really good that you do that. as
Yeah,
well,
oh yeah,
because
yeah.
There's not many people that would have that respect, and I think it shows.
But that shows you about your business and about the person
Yeah.
you're working with or you're working against with. It's like, obviously, if they're buying from big brand, we're going all the
Yeah,
way
of
in.
course,
But
of
it's
course,
like, you
but-
know, if they're supporting small business, I respect that. No, I don't.
That's really good.
Yeah, you have to have that respect for other people because everyone has mouth to feed, bills to pay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
When did your friend set up?
Sorry.
When
He set up
similar
in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Similar.
to, yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
same year, but a bit later. But he's doing much better than me because he was already in the industry for a
Right,
long
yeah,
time. Yeah.
But that's it. I think it's great that you've. that
Oh
you've-
yeah,
that you've-
absolutely. Yeah. It's
So when you sort of set up and you've got your first load of coffee landing
yeah.
in England, what did you do? Did you have to get storage units or how?
Yeah,
did
you
it-
had to get a storage unit. Had to meet so many criterias, but on the same
Like, do
time.
you need licenses and stuff for it?
Not
or
really, but food hygiene because
Yeah.
obviously for a certain reason you cannot keep coffee on the floor. It has to be packed in a certain way
Yeah.
to meet some. Pardon me.
No problem.
You had to meet certain standards for food
Yeah.
and everything. So you have to apply for Leeds City Council to come and check to approve everything, all of the process. So that was like the biggest cost was that, and then yeah, the biggest cost was that, and then the accountant.
Right.
So you had to, your business plan had to be very solid because I started the business with £1,500, set up everything
Of your own money.
of my own
Okay.
saving money.
So that's your own saving money.
Yeah.
And then so you had that set to one side. Right. I'm going to start. This is.
Yeah, set up company, set up website, accountant, and then first purchase, packed everything like business ready £1,500.
So when you set up your business and you've got that money, what was it like? Sort of setting up your business bank account. What was it like? Doing that whole
Yeah.
process? Because I know for when I've done it in the past, it's quite
Yeah.
daunting, and I don't know if it's a limited company, but setting up all like the limited company.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you had to read so much.
You have to learn so
You
much
have to learn so
yeah.
much. So you have to learn how to run before how to walk.
Of course.
Which is, in a way, is good because your brain has to be very sharp and has to be very productive.
Yeah.
But I would say it's like it was a good process for me because I had to learn, I had to read, I had to watch so
Yeah.
many YouTube videos. How this part
YouTube is key, isn't it?
it's a
so
key.
good.
It's a key, but it's how this part was like them moving to QuickBooks and learning about financial side with tax, VAT, how to do
like
certain things. Because if you ask accountant, they ask for $1.
Yeah.
Although I'm very lucky, my accountant is a top guy. He's one of the best people I know, and he's helping so much. However, you know,
It's
you have,
important to get a good, like a good
it's
accountant.
that's
who's got
the
knowledge as
that's
well.
that's a key. To have a good accountant, it's a key.
Yeah.
So I would advise
Who do you do your business banking with, if you don't mind me asking?
Starling Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
'Cause-
it's free and everyone's recommending it so much.
That's good because I everything with Tide, they're sort of
Yeah, similar.
kind of supporting with the podcast as well. So basically, one of the things that they've done, and this is why I wanted to sort of do a bit of work with them, is they do basically where you open a business
Yeah,
account with them, they set up your limited company and everything.
that's amazing.
So you basically go online, you type in
Yeah,
what you
whatever.
think, whatever you want to call your company. Say
yeah.
Carl's Coffee Company.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start a coffee company. I could type
It's
in.
all right. We'll come and join.
There's room for everyone.
Yeah. Listen, there's so many cafes, restaurants,
So
and
many.
bars.
It's good.
yeah.
But yeah, you literally type in what company you want, company name,
Yeah,
and then they say yeah, that's available, and then they
Go.
do your business bank. They set it all up,
Yeah.
and it's free.
it's not like back in the days when you used to pay £500 for someone to do
Yeah,
it for you.
for someone to do
Nice.
it. It's
Yeah.
all done free. Your business
That's
bank
amazing.
account is set up. So full disclosure, I get money. Say if someone follows a link
Yeah,
on Instagram or wherever
Yeah.
wherever they might find me, there's a link on their Tide link.
yeah.
If you go on that, I get a little bit of money. But
But why not?
I only do that because I fully believe in that. Like it is.
But no, that sounds
so much
amazing
easier.
package.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've done it, I've done it.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. I mean,
yeah.
when I did mine, I had to go online. Obviously, you register your company with Company's House.
Yeah,
Takes a bit of time. Then you get all your forms in. Then you have to go and set up your business
Yeah.
bank, and then like a virtual office or whatever. They offer all of this in the same.
that sounds.
It's mad.
Yeah, because otherwise you have to do it with the company house yourself.
Yeah.
Find the name,
Yeah.
then sync them together. They're best friends.
So-
like-
So annoying, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. It
It's,
is.
but it's,
But people don't know that until they have to meet that. Like
Yeah.
you have to do limited company, then you have to put who's the secretary, who's the managing director,
Yeah.
what's happening, everything.
Yeah.
But if that platform does it for you,
does it all for you. Yeah.
easy.
Honestly, it's so easy to just
Yeah.
do it and put all your information in.
Beautiful.
Obviously, a little plug there from me.
Yeah.
So you had to get all your like your food licenses and
Yeah.
things like that. Was it difficult? Because you,
It was.
I guess you're kind of learning as you're going.
Oh,
'cause-
you're learning as you're going, definitely, because especially to sort out the insurance and the food hygiene as well, because the Leeds City Council wasn't aware what am I actually doing.
Right.
So they were thinking I'm a coffee shop. I'm like, no, my office is registered at my house. So
Yeah.
they're like, what does that mean? I was like, I'm selling coffee beans, like in packaged, and they're
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? I was like, right.
Couldn't quite get it.
Yeah, so they couldn't. So how is? I was like, coffee company brand, like not a cafe, and they're like, okay, that's fine. I was like, okay.
But
So
it's difficult, though,
it's
isn't it? Trying to,
it's difficult because they answer to your letters within 14, 20, 50 days later,
Yeah.
and then like, why you haven't done this? I was like, I did submit it, but
yeah.
no communication. But it is stressful times. So
Especially when you just want to get it done and get
yeah,
out there.
that's it. But at the same time,
I think that's part of it is be patient.
you have to be very patient and you
So
have to
patient.
know the right way to do things fast, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you have to be organized. You cannot leave stuff for tomorrow. It has to be
No,
done now.
yeah. Yeah, if something needs to be done, get it done now.
Yeah, especially with the VAT. When the VAT comes,
Yeah.
organize it. At least there's sorry. The coffee is 0% VAT, so
Right.
I'm happy with that.
That's all right,
It's,
yeah.
it's beautiful.
But still,
It's
you've got to
still-
get your
you
things
have to
done
get it done.
Get it done right.
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
Wow. So we spoke a little bit about your accountant and stuff. Going on to other people that might help with your brand. We spoke a little bit about in the break, but when you typically use people, rather than employing staff, which for a start-up or someone that's new, that's really daunting because you can think, I need like someone to do my design, I need someone
Yeah.
to do this, I need someone to look after my
Yeah.
social media. There's so many people that you need to help with your business, but
It is
when you're
crazy.
a startup, I mean, you said you had how much to start? £1,000.
£500 for everything.
You can't employ staff on that
No.
and all that. So what did you do? Because obviously there's a lot of stuff that you
Yeah, so
can do and can't do.
especially when it comes to designs and anything with creative,
Yeah.
it's so much money involved. So you have to be
Lot.
very, very sharp and very clever because they can charge you a fortune for nothing. And I'm
Yeah,
literally, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing for them because in their perspective they put the hours there. However, I just don't see the value for what they're charging me, what I
Yeah.
get back. So you have to start, or I would suggest like obviously to do some YouTubes and learn some kind of a Canva because it's very easy to use
Yeah.
for startups and like some small items and bits. But then I went to, everyone's familiar or most of the people are with
Yeah.
Fiverr.com, and then I start researching like certain categories to find the best for photoshopping, the best for logo, the best for certain obviously once one in five you're gonna find that not great,
Not great,
but
yeah.
but then you can always ask for a refund if they don't provide
Yeah.
what you're asking for.
Which is, I mean, I think it's a great platform for anyone that hasn't used it before. It's Fiverr,
Fiverr, sorry.
Fiverr.
Yeah,
There's two R's,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
there?
sorry, I
Dot
said
com.
it for Fiverr, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and it is. You can find anyone on there
Anyone.
to do anything. If you want an app building, obviously I had a podcast with a software
Yeah.
software engineer the other week. Go to people like that. But if you want to find people who might be able to do stuff cheaper, you can go to Fiverr. If you want someone that's going to do design,
Yeah.
you know, I think you
Everything.
can even get them to design buildings. There's
Everything.
There's everything on there, and it's so reasonably priced. But then you've got the backup of if it's wrong.
Yeah.
Fiverr, you
Yeah.
can sort of say, oh no, I'm not prepared to pay for that.
Well, it's like I wanted to have a kind of a, not a song, but what would I say, like a melody for my company.
Yeah,
And I paid like Fiverr, and this guy came out with like the most beautiful sound I ever
It's
heard.
incredible, isn't
It's
it?
like absolutely amazing. I was like, maybe one day I'm gonna put it like as a, if someone rings for my company,
on there.
put it. I'm not
Is
gonna
it-
have this press one, press two, but still.
there's so I've got for one of my businesses, it's software company, and they, when people call,
Yeah.
you can do. I've got like a basically it's like a landline that you call into, but it dials through to my phone.
Like virtual line or
Yeah, like a virtual landline, and you can basically add whatever you want into it. You can talk
Yeah.
into it. You can put your music into it and upload the files. And that's I'll give you the details of it
Yeah.
after. It's really good. So you could have it that when people ring,
Yeah.
it just does that until it connects through to you.
No, it's beautiful because makes your company stand out. You're like, oh, actually, this one is not.
Of course,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
makes a big difference, especially when you want to appear to be a smaller company, but
Yeah.
there's some sort of expectations that people want. Some people, as you say, they need that reassurance. It's not just a tiny company.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
They want that reassurance. It's actually
You're gonna provide.
You're going to provide the consistency in the
Yeah.
products and things like that. That them little things might change the way that they think. And
It is because as soon as I say some big brands now, big names, like certain hotels, I provide them with coffee, and their eyes like, do you? It's like that
Yeah.
for them like that's reassurance. I'm gonna
course it is.
provide for them as well if these guys are buying from
they
me.
can do it.
Yeah. If they don't match like the same clientele or customers, if they're like, well, actually I supply these guys, and they're like, do you? I thought you're like a tiny. And next thing is like, you know what? We'll try you. So people start looking at you a different
Yeah,
way.
it's like a reassurance.
But
isn't
if you
it?
say you're small independent, for them that means like liability,
Yeah.
not an asset. So they're like, well, is he gonna provide? What if I call for coffee and he doesn't turn up? What if this happen? He doesn't pick up the phone. It's not good for me.
It's different in different people's minds.
Yeah,
isn't it? 'Cause
yeah,
I guess like your friends down at Chop House,
Yeah.
they know you personally. And
Yeah.
They know that if they pick
Now
up the
they
phone-
do, but they didn't before.
Oh, well, so that was a new.
Yeah, that was a new
okay.
customer. There is
But-
also in Chapoalaton. It took me
But-
6 months to get them as a customer. I was going once a month, and I was like, not begging, but it's at some point. And then I went for a trip to Malaga. The guy answered he's like, you know what? Just come in and just make me a coffee because I gave him so many bucks for the past 6 months. He's like, no, we're happy with ours. And one day he's like, okay, come and make it for me if you're that good. I went there, and since then we're like best friends.
That's great.
But it took me 6 months. So
So
commitment.
6 months to secure that business.
Yeah, but now it's like one of my best accounts because he buys so much coffee. We are so close. Each time I go, like smiles, hugs,
Yeah.
etc. So you could say like we've been friends for years, although we start working together since October, November. He said to me at the beginning, like, listen, if my customers are not happy with, no hard feelings, but we're not working together.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's fine. Until you decide your customers are happy with this, I'll give it for free to you.
Wow.
So I gave him like what, $4, $5.
But I think that's the work that you've got to put in, and I think that goes for.
You work with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are people at the
People
end of
are
the day. And look, I think that goes for any sort of business that you set up, whether that be a coffee brand, whether that be anything. You've
You
got
need to know when to charge, and you need to know when to give it for free.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to know when to give it from your pocket.
Yeah.
Because you cannot always ask, well, yeah, it costs me that much. Yeah, it does, but it's an investment. So
Yeah.
if you're not willing to risk it, don't start it.
Yeah, because if you hadn't given them anything, or you hadn't, or you hadn't even made the effort to call them and speak to them,
That's it.
you wouldn't have them now.
You have to make that connections. Like, listen, if you're not happy, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
If your customers are not happy, I'm definitely not happy. So it has to work everyone's way to be happy. Everyone needs to be like.
But
on
you've got to
the-
put that work in.
You have to put that work, and you have to be ready to risk it.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to risk it,
Yeah.
it's like.
If you're not ready to put in the hard work, there's
Yeah.
not much point in starting a business.
Exactly. Ask me now if I'm ready to. If I'm asking the same question myself, why am I doing this? If I was.
Yeah, because when as you said during COVID, you were sort of thinking,
No, even during COVID last year until
Last
we
year.
took off.
right?
Yeah, before
Sort of
before May
question.
time, I was the same. Like, oh, is it worth it? Shall we just shit? Now I love life, but until then,
You have to
like-
put in that hard
you
work.
have to put that hard work.
Yeah.
Now my company is looking after itself. It makes good turnover. It's everything I make, I put it back in the company. It's like having a baby.
Yeah.
The first 2 years are not easy, or maybe the first 5 years. But after that, once you see it start growing up, you're happy.
That's a really good analogy.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you've got to,
But
got to feed it. You've
yeah,
got to look after it.
you
You've got
have to.
You've got to teach the baby how to walk. You've got-
Exactly.
yeah.
You have to change nappies, but you
Yeah.
have to do it. It doesn't happen.
got to do the horrible
It cries
stuff.
2 o'clock in the morning. You wake up, but that was the
That is
first.
such a good analogy.
But it is true because when was like Halloween, everyone goes out party. 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going grinding coffee, and people are like, "Oh, you have it easy when they see me on the side having coffee." I was like, "You go until 3 o'clock grinding coffee and see how much fun you're having."
I suppose that's all about, like, and a lot of people say about this is people only see success when it's like, when you've done it, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's an overnight success. or,
Overnight, yeah.
no,
He knew these guys from before they buy
Yeah.
his.
No.
Yeah, come in my shoes to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people don't realise that. A lot
No.
of people just see success and think, oh, they've done it overnight, it's been dead easy for them. They don't understand how hard it. Well, no, they do, because they've done all that hard
Yeah.
work, and it's true, is it? I mean,
It
you
is.
think of like Colonel Sanders KFC.
Yeah.
What a great story that is. I mean, the guy was, how old was he? In his
60,
70s,
70,
60s,
yeah,
70s?
70 something,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, that's a famous story, but there's so many others like that
Yeah.
that are people who just have small businesses or like
Absolutely, yeah.
medium-sized businesses, large businesses that you don't necessarily hear that story. But
Yeah.
obviously, KFC, it's a worldwide brand, so everyone
Exactly.
knows it. But so many other people have that story of the work and the hard work that they've put in.
It pays off,
Knocking
but
on
you
doors.
have to be ready to put. You shouldn't be expecting someone's gonna come and knock on your door and
No.
like, let me buy your product or your services
Never.
because I feel like it today. Your marketing is like the most important thing
Yeah.
after your product and your service. So you have to be ready to know where your market is, how to attract them, how to sell them, and how to keep them happy.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Otherwise,
you've got to keeping the customer as well.
yeah.
That's key.
That's the other thing. Is like some people they're like, okay, I sell to this customer this glass for £1, but same glass to other customer. Once I have so many customers, I'll sell it for 5.
Yeah,
At some point, he's going back to this customer and say like, you know what, I'll increase it to 5, but he doesn't remember that's his loyal customer since day one.
yeah,
So my day one customers, I try to keep them like same prices as the best wholesale.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
obviously you have 10p here and there difference
There's bits.
based on how much people buy, because you have to offer the best price on the best
Yeah.
buyer. However, on my loyal customer, it doesn't matter if he buys 2 kilograms or 2 boxes.
Yeah,
I give him the best price because he's been with me since day one.
showing the loyalty.
You have to
each
show
other,
it. You have to,
essentially.
because if you change to the customer, then what you're doing is like
Yeah,
you have
it's
no
not fair.
respect. It's not fair. Yeah, he's been supporting you since day one, and all of a sudden you're like
You've got-
trying to be greedy.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that. Yeah.
It's one way to lose customers quite fast.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid it is, yeah. And
So-
then people talk.
Yeah,
Yeah, people talk, and they do talk a lot. So
and they will tell other people what
they'll
you've done
tell
for them.
everyone.
Yeah.
So if you lose that respect, you try to become a corporate
Yeah.
company. You're just losing that
It
touch.
just doesn't work.
It doesn't
You've
work.
got to keep that.
Yeah, you have to
Best
keep.
touch.
If people have been with you since day one, keep them happy.
Yeah,
You may make a little loss, so you don't make the same profit or etc. Keep them happy.
but they were there when you needed them.
Yeah, because they tell other people like, oh, this guy's amazing. So many people since day one, they support me so much more. They give my business cards. They're offering my coffee. I was like, this happened behind the scene,
Without you.
without me knowing.
Yeah.
And someone calls me like, oh, this guy from such and such said you're supplying them with coffee. Can you come see me? I'm like, wow. that's amazing.
That makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good, like, because they keep supporting you.
Yeah, of
So-
course. So you were saying a little bit about the price there, that so obviously it
Yeah.
fluctuates. And, I don't know if it was, I think it was before we started, you were saying it's a bit like the stock market, isn't it? Is that right?
Well, it's so complicated behind the scene because the price since 2019 on coffee has increased like 100%. Don't quote me on this because it's very weird. But what happened is during pandemic, obviously everything stopped trading, so the containers wasn't moving
Yeah.
and stock was staying in one place, etc. So if you could buy one container, empty container to move stock for 3,000 euros, now it's 13,000 euros.
Yeah, cost of containers. as
Yeah,
well.
it's gone crazy.
That's right,
Logistic has gone crazy.
Yeah,
Now petrol price has gone crazy. So obviously the coffee price has increased as well due to what's the word I'm looking for? Everything increases, so the price increases as well. Labor increases. Now it's very hard one because you're trying to buy a big purchase of coffee, but you don't know what's gonna be the price next month.
yeah.
So at the moment you're giving a quote on your customers based on what's happening right now. 3 months could be different.
Could
So
change.
you know the electricity price increase with 50% since 1st of April. Gas price increase.
Crazy. My heating went off 1st of April. Heating's off.
Well,
God,
yeah.
I'm not cooking.
Yeah,
This is freezing.
it's but it's hard one because at the moment I sell with old prices based on the stock I have since I bought at that price. I haven't increased my pricing at all.
Right,
But what this telling me is when I have to make my next purchase,
it's going to change.
it's gonna change. Well, I'm gonna buy new stock with old price, so obviously my profit's gonna be cut in half somewhere down the line.
Yeah,
I'm ready to take this risk because I want to look good on the market for the time being, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
you
That-
can't. You can't.
you can't keep on your paperwork, on your business plan, on your forecast sheets. You don't know what's gonna happen because at the moment, if you make 20% GP,
Yeah.
maybe it's actually 5, but you don't know
Because
until you make the new
prices change.
purchase. Yeah.
Well, there's so-
Maybe even you're minus because you still don't know.
Yeah.
At the
don't-
moment, you're
but-
thinking you're making 20% GP, but
But the
for
cost
the-
of the product might have gone up.
they may be the logistic as well. So
Yeah.
for the time you say like, oh, actually last year I bought 1 container, I need now 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You have saved the money, but actually last year you bought it for, let's say, just simple, like let's say you bought it for $25,000,
Yeah.
but now it's like 34. You're like,
Yeah.
you are.
It's a huge increase.
It's a
but then that adds on to everything.
It's out on
Yeah.
everything. That's what I mean. It's like the final figure. So you're thinking there like, oh, making profit, paying myself, happy days, and then I need to make a new purchase for my inventory.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, wow, actually I want the money now
Yeah.
from my pocket. So you have to be on the top of it. You have to ask every week, every month regarding prices,
Yeah.
and you have to stay on the top of this.
It's quite big in construction industry as well at the moment.
It
I don't know
is,
if you
indeed. Yeah,
know too
yeah.
much about it, but I know timber at one point was crazy. I think cable now is. I mean, a lot of people are quoting like on cable.
Yeah.
Quotes change daily.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if
yeah.
you want to say you, I don't know, you're having something built and you're quoting on something. Most of these construction companies have to buy something
yeah.
there and then.
Yeah.
If they've agreed to won a tender or whatever, they have to buy it there and then
Right
rather
then.
than
We'll wait for tomorrow because it could
the
be
price changes.
Yeah,
And it's crazy just how quickly things are
absolutely.
moving.
And people thinking like you're taking not the mic, but it's like they're thinking like
But people-
you're joking.
yeah.
I was like, do you know what's happening with the
Yeah.
dollar to the euro to the pound?
Yeah.
Do you know what's like to try to deal with 3-4 different countries at the same time
Yeah.
to secure a coffee? Because at some point they were saying like, oh, there were winter in Brazil, first winter since ever. The weather was such and such, so they lost so many tons of coffee. However, the price gonna go triple.
To
To-
counteract
yeah.
the stuff they'd lost.
And you're like, right, how do I explain this to my guy from the cafe on Street Lane that it may be this, it may be that? I cannot do this because then I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
In his eyes, he's like, oh, this guy's trying to take more money from me. So it's people don't know how much stress you have behind the scene trying to figure it out. Are you gonna survive yourself to make sure they survive for what's happening?
Yeah. And make sure that your business survives. So you're gonna
Yeah,
balance that and maybe take a little bit of profit out yourself.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to be able to keep.
yeah,
It's a difficult balance, isn't it?
I had a customer saying like, "Oh, I used to buy coffee for £5." I was like, 2006. Oh, yeah. I was like, "Yeah, welcome 2022."
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
like, it's like, if you can do that, give me the number.
Yeah.
I want to buy. I want to
I'll
buy.
buy that
Yeah, I'll
coffee.
buy that.
But I think that's the thing. Is it's people don't necessarily understand
The
that whole
inflation.
side of it,
No.
and it can be so many different little factors that change.
It is.
Transportation costs, cost
Brexit
of containers,
as well.
Brexit, yeah.
Yeah.
As you say about the whole thing about the winter.
Yeah.
That's not something that I knew about.
For
But
Brazil, yeah.
When you think about it, well, yeah, of course it makes sense because their company's there. They, say one of their companies expect to make £100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Well, they've got a third of their stock, so they're really only making 33,000. Well, then they need
Absolutely.
to change it because they've got stuff to pay for. So then that adds on the price to you, which
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's as well with Brexit. It's like, now you have to find custom agent or etc. You have so many taxes to pay down the line, which they're not a huge increase, but they are increase
Yeah.
on your. So on your final product, you have to calculate this one as well as everything else. So that changes your GP as well down
Yeah.
the line, your revenue, everything. People are like, well, are you making up this price? I was like, listen, I'm happy to show you each one,
yeah,
and then you tell me if it's worth it or not. So,
Yeah.
and I still
crazy,
I'm
that.
still below market than everyone else. So
wow,
you have to be, but at the moment I don't have other people to feed. It's just kind of a one-man band.
yeah,
But if I had other staff, offices, etc., obviously that price would have changed by now,
of course.
and
You have to.
you have to
Yeah.
to survive. So this is telling me like bigger companies than me based in Yorkshire, and they're doing competitive prices. I just feel bad for them because I don't know how they manage.
Yeah.
Literally, I know how I manage, but these guys, they have like team of 6, 7, 8 people going to better locations, buying newer like rosters and stuff like that, investing more. I was like, oh my god! I mean, like they're brave. For
Yeah.
me, they're really brave
Yeah.
to be able to try to do all this movement.
But then I wonder if when you have like a company like that, if the end user like the cafe or
Yeah.
what have you, if they are more understanding to the price changes, if their large coffee brand or
Yeah.
medium sized coffee brand comes up and says, instead of you paying £10 for this bag, you're now
Yeah.
going to be paying 12.
Yeah.
That's it. I wonder if they're more like, oh, okay.
Oh, they have to be. Well, it's like everyone first instant is when they get that letter, by the way, due to the increase of
Yeah, our price are increasing on
inflation's
X, Y,
our
Z.
price. Yeah, it's gonna be from. They give you at least 1 month notice
Yeah.
normally. Like that's how it is in our branch. Sorry, they give you like 1 month notice. However, what's gonna be the movement for the time being? First thought you are like, you know what? I'm just gonna change supplier. Everyone's first thought is that,
course.
and then they start calling other people. It's like actually,
Prices are.
Actually, these guys are giving me a good offer.
Yeah.
Let me stay with them.
Yeah.
But for these guys to survive, they have to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
Of
then
course.
what happens? The cafes increase the price a little, and this happened, and now the VAT is going up on the coffee as well. On the if you sell it as a hot beverage from a
Right.
cafe, used to be 5%, then 15%. Now I think it's going back to 20%. So all this has to be calculated on their side as
Yeah.
well, because they have labor to pay, rent, business rates, whatever. So
it goes from being quite a high profit
to
product to just a normal like everything
yeah,
else.
exactly.
I think I can't remember where I saw it. There was like an image, and it was like a infographic of a cup of coffee, and it says like the percentage of your £3 coffee or something, how much that breaks down. So it's like 0.5% is the actual like goes to the farm, and then
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's madness just how much
Yeah.
that one.
I can give you a quick math here right now. So let's say you buy a bag for
Yeah.
£10. Let's
Okay,
do
yeah.
it £10 on a wholesale price if you're a big
I'm going to
company.
write this down. Bag, £10.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's say you make 100 coffees
So 100 coffees.
out of one bag.
Yeah.
So how many pieces is that? 10p per coffee?
Yeah. 10p for the coffee.
10p for coffee. Milk costs you. So I'm not very familiar with the milk price at the moment, but let's say for 2 pints costs you like pound or something like
Yeah.
that. To put 250 milliliters in, let's say another 20p,
20p.
to be very generous here. So that's 30p costs you one coffee to create.
Yeah.
You charge £3.
Yeah.
What's that giving you?
Well, yeah.
You know. But that's why
We
you
give-
that's
yeah.
why you think. However,
Yeah.
you have so many costs behind it.
Because then you've got your
£3 you
electricity.
have the VAT.
Yeah.
So you take
Oh,
this
yeah.
off. You have the labor, which
Yeah.
it has increased from 1st of April to £9.50.
Yeah.
But okay, you make one coffee for 5 minutes. That's very generous as well. But then, okay, you take that off, electricity, everything. So you have the business rate to pay. You have
Yeah.
it's all add up.
Yeah.
But people like seeing these £3, and that's like a lot of money for
Yeah.
a coffee. However,
But I mean that's when you put it as a blanket that
yeah,
you pay £3 for that.
Yeah.
And it cost X amount,
Yeah.
30p for the coffee and the milk.
Yeah.
However, you don't think about everything else. The money that it costs to wash the cup,
Yeah.
the money that it costs for
servicing
to
the
make it,
machine
the
and
machines.
everything. It's
There's,
like,
there's a lot that
it's a lot.
actually that £3 is really
but
that much.
okay, but let's say how many customers you gonna sell coffee today to? You have to sell what, 600 customers to make a decent day profit
Yeah.
to pay your wage, your staff wage.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You may sell like 50, 60, 70, 100 coffees. That's top
Yeah.
for like a small independent business here. You have to sell sandwiches as well. You have to sell this.
Making
So
other things.
yeah, actually, somewhere down the line, the math doesn't add up
Yeah.
to some places, unfortunately, which is very shame. But that's why they charge so much. When I see places charge £2.20 for a random coffee and they put double shots, that's half of their profit gone right there and then.
Yeah.
And I try to explain, like, make it a smaller cup like this one here.
Yeah.
If you see, it's like 8 ounce.
Yeah.
Single shot is plenty. It gives you the same texture for £2.20. Actually, it works out fine.
Yeah.
But if you put double shot, all this increases double.
Yeah. So you then
So-
got you've then got 40p.
Yeah,
instead of
50p,
being- yeah.
exactly. So, but then you don't make as much.
So you explain that to your customers as well.
I try to, but some
That's-
people like
some people aren't,
I've been
yeah.
doing it for 15 years, and like later on, like 2 months later, you see them shut. You're like,
Yeah. But that shows.
they see revenue, they don't see profit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, oh, I've been doing it for 15 years, and you're like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you how it is now because everything increases, but you don't keep you're not sharp. You don't keep your eye on the figures.
Yeah.
You see numbers increases, bills you're paying and this, and then at end of the month, instead of you taking money home so you can pay your bills at home, what happens is actually a minus.
Yeah.
And you start blaming it on something
Everything
else.
else. Yeah. But I think it's really good that you also explain that to
You
your
have to.
customers. 'Cause not many other companies are going to do that, are they?
How many people are like, I want to open a cafe, and then you're like, what's your knowledge regarding business? Because let's be honest, cafe is a business.
Yeah.
Pub is a business, and only people who are sharp with their finances, they succeed more than
Yeah.
people who are like, I'm gonna make cakes, sell cakes.
Yeah.
It's like you will be surprised when you
Yeah.
ask a certain question, like about turnover, and people they don't like talking about turnover
Yeah.
because either A, they feel embarrassed, or B, they feel like, oh, why would I share my information with him?
Yeah.
And then you start guessing, and you always put a higher, so then they take the, oh, actually, I don't make anywhere near that.
Yeah.
How do you survive?
Yeah. How is it happening?
Yeah, so you made some savings from, what was that, furlough money, etc.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, you know what, I'll open cafe, because that's the, people think that's the easiest part.
Yeah.
Put a coffee machine, charging people, make money.
Doesn't quite work.
Doesn't quite
Yeah.
work. How many?
Unless you have someone like you supplying the coffee,
Well,
who's going to
no.
help and
You have to make your homework. You have to read about it. You
Yeah.
have to see what expenses you might have. You have to be prepared.
Yeah.
Because if you're prepared, you know what's happening and what may happen. But like now on the street, if you go down the street on Motown Corner,
Yeah.
etc., so many new cafes.
So
So many.
Yeah.
Oakwood, so
Yeah.
many new cafes,
Yeah.
and it's like 9 cafes next to each other. And you're like, how many people live here and how many people drink coffee a day?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm missing something out.
Yeah. And then where we said about there, it's not the easiest. I mean, it's easy to get to, but it's main road, and there's
Yeah.
that little car park. There's not.
Yeah, but
a
it's
lot of
like
space.
nine to each
Yeah.
other. So
There's
what's
so many around.
so many
Yeah.
Chapolitan, so
Yeah.
many cafes next to each
Yeah.
other. And it's not a bad thing if there's the demand for everyone to survive.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I mean, like I wish them all of the best, and I want everyone to be happy and everyone
Yeah.
to be successful. But end of the day, you need to be sharp with your
You need to work it
finances.
out,
And you
yeah.
need to work it out. If this happens, what do you do next?
Yeah.
So you know your market and you know who's coming.
It's the same for any sort of business as well, though,
Pretty
isn't it?
much,
I mean, that's something that you would have done to start with. And
Yeah.
I think anyone that's starting any business,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, look at it, work it out first, and see, do a little bit of preparation. What's your sort of future plans?
So at the moment, I'm still reaching my goals. So the company start looking after itself. It's getting more and more successful. I've done the first foil baggage, fully mine. So the next one, I want to make the new packages for the other brands. I'm gonna come with a single origin as well.
Okay.
Because the third brand, which is Love Amore, I've taken it out for the time being. Actually, a customer messaged me today, like trying to buy it on the website.
Really?
It's like, what's happening? I was like, listen, I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah.
I know people were, but I wasn't pleased with myself. So I want to do a single origin because that makes sound your brand is already going somewhere.
Yeah.
I want to do packaging for it as well. And maybe wholesale, like cash and carry and stuff like that.
Okay.
Although I prefer to go face to face to my customers, but because for me branding is everything. I like going to my clients. I like to feel part of their business. I like to help them out. If I deliver coffee and I see them busy, I go and I start making coffee for them, and that's what they like.
Yeah. It's
They
a
li-
personal touch.
That's personal touch.
Yeah.
But then if you enjoy what you do,
Yeah.
I go there, I stay 1 hour. For example, this hour goes like 5 minutes because there's so many coffee orders. But they appreciate it so much,
Of
and they're like,
course.
"Oh my god, that's."
Wouldn't everybody?
Yeah,
like,
that's-
that is real service.
Also, I enjoy it because it keeps me sharp on the job. Like, to remind myself how to make coffee fast
Yeah.
because I do
Yeah,
coffee
yeah,
trainings
yeah.
and everything.
You do
and
coffee training when it's quiet on a
Yeah,
long
yeah,
day.
but then it's like I can also, when I bring coffee, I see like how the coffee is extracted. I was asking for a coffee to try
Yeah.
to make sure they hit that standard.
Yeah.
Because if the coffee is pouring out very fast, that means they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
And they've been serving bad coffee since
So-
last time I've been there. But however you said about the future plans is just grow the company organically. That's what I've been doing since day one. I enjoy it. Many people they push their company to the maximum and they aim to get like so many customers, and then somewhere down the line it's like a domino effect. They fail to deliver,
Yeah.
and then they feel, because if you lose one customer, okay, it hurts. Let's be honest, it's not a pleasant thing.
No
But
one wants
if you
that, do they?
if you lose 10 people in the same week because you forgot their order, you're trying to do everything yourself, and you're trying to sell, but not to provide, that hurts even more because everyone talks and people change jobs all the time here nowadays.
Yeah. The people that you're supplying to,
Yeah,
you know, someone that works in Cafe A
yeah.
in a few months might end up working at Cafe B,
That's-
and they're going to talk about the service that they got there. And
That's the best part because if they're happy with you, wherever they go, first thing they call you because they know what you're gonna deliver for them.
yeah.
They're like, which one are you using at the moment? Are we contracted? No. Okay, call Mario. I love it.
That's
I
good.
absolutely love it because
That's
that's why I
really
increase my portfolio
By people.
by
yeah.
people. You work with people, and if they're happy with you, they take you everywhere.
How can they not be happy with you as well?
But
I
no,
mean, you're coming in and you're looking after them and
yeah, yeah.
explaining stuff.
But this is my side of the story. Maybe there's something I don't provide for some of them, and they may be frustrated because I may be dealing with the owners of the business. However, maybe I'm training the staff how to do coffee and how to clean machine, which is very big part of it. But if they're not inspired to provide a good coffee, they blame it on me.
Yeah.
What? It's like it happened to
It's your
me.
fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Anything happens, it's my fault. It's you have to get used to this. Or I don't do servicing machines. I give one of my contacts who does that. But try not to get involved because then it's like warranty involved, this and this.
Yeah.
And from day one I said like I supply coffee. I don't do coffee machines, I don't do coffee servicing. However, I work with these three people. So if you need anything, call them. People calls me like my coffee machine broke down. Okay, I call the people I work with. Can you call please and sort it out? Yeah, sure. But then somewhere, if something doesn't work out perfectly for any of them, comes bites me back. But you have to take it. You have to. You're like, I'm ever so sorry. Let me see what happened, and
Work it out.
you work it
and
out.
you learn from it.
You learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. How would you? Is there a way to? I mean, obviously it's different with different coffees and
Yeah.
things. But say someone's got a machine at home
Yeah.
and they want to make the perfect coffee.
All right.
Firstly, buy your coffee, so
Yeah.
they're using the right coffee. How would they do it? Because
Let's say we're using this famous coffee machine. I think it's called Sage.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it has grinder build and everything. A friend of mine called me last year, this time. Someone gave it to him for a wedding present, and he's like, "Listen, your coffee is coming down horrible." I was like, okay. It's like, it's not your coffee, it's the machine. Because he drank my coffee different places. I was like, I'll come and see it. So the grinding size, that's very important. It has to be grinded very fine. But
So it all depends on what
yeah,
final.
then you have to tamp it very tight. It has to be like, it has to come out smoothly with crema and everything. So it took like, what, 5 minutes to adjust his, yeah. So obviously there's so many videos on YouTube how to work each machine. But you have to watch the YouTube and see which machines, how does it work out.
So if you
The
obviously you say
grinder is
about
one of the most important parts.
how fine it's
how fine it is, to make sure it's coming out pouring fine and not too fast and just smooth.
But then you
and
say about
tamping, yeah,
topping it down. So obviously whenever I make one,
yeah.
if I squeeze it a bit too hard, it takes quite some time to come out, and it's
Yeah,
probably
that-
I've probably got too much coffee in, I guess.
Well, you got either too much coffee or it's too fine the ground.
Right. Okay.
So it has to
it's
have,
finding that balance.
yeah,
isn't it?
finding that balance to make sure it's coming out smoothly, like not too fast, not too slow. It shouldn't be dripping, or it
Yeah.
shouldn't be coming out like you have put the tap on.
Is there like a second rule?
Yeah, it's like normally we say 25 milliliters for 21 seconds or 25 seconds. It's
So
but
it's like a milliliter a second, essentially.
something like that. You have first 5 seconds first 5 seconds nothing is pouring, and then start pouring slow and smooth.
Yeah.
But again, it's on the videos. It's like Jeff Hoffman, or there's so many videos
Just
and
working
bloggers, yeah, and showing you like what's the best extraction for timing and grams or milliliters.
I'm gonna go back and practice.
No,
loads now.
yeah, there's so many. It shows you like if you do this, it's gonna be bitter. If you do that, it's gonna be sour. If you do this, it's gonna be perfect, and it actually works. People
Right.
like coffee is coffee. I was like,
It's
right,
not though.
yeah,
It's really not.
yeah,
But it's depending on where you go. Speaking of like the main brand coffee places
Yeah.
that are everywhere, there's certain ones that I can't stand. And if one of my friends will message me and
Yeah.
say, "Should we go get a coffee?"
yeah,
I'll meet you in. I'm not going to say it. In fact, I'll say it, but I'll bleep it.
yeah.
And I'm like, I am not going there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I refuse to because I don't like their coffee.
That's it.
I really don't. Do I need to beep it? Yeah, I'll beep it.
Yeah, beep it,
Yeah, I'll
just to
beep
be
it. Just in
careful.
case.
Yeah, you don't want
horrible.
the coffee knocking on your door. What did you say about that? But no, customer bought this one from me because when I got the new packaging, I advertised in this Facebook group for coffee lovers, and he's like, "Let me try it," and I sent it to him. And silly me, forgot to tell him the recipe
Okay.
because coffee lover. I thought he's gonna try different ways and find out what works
Find
best.
out what's best for him.
He messaged me on Facebook, said like, "Not being funny, but your coffee is horrible."
Right?
And I was like, obviously it's based on personal preference. So maybe he's right. Maybe he didn't like it. Maybe he's used to single origin, sourish. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was like, tell me how you made it. It's like 20 grams of this, and I did this. And I was like, have you read what's in the?
Yeah.
I was like, how long you been drinking coffee? I mean, like with all due respect,
Yeah.
it's like it says here medium roast, 60% this,
Yeah.
40% that. You should
Well,
know
to some
better.
people, they don't
Yeah.
know that,
Yeah.
that's important. They don't know.
But no, in this group, you expect people to be
You would,
professional
yeah, of
because
course.
that's all about. And I was like, why you don't try with 7 grams? And it's like, or 7.58 grams. He's like, are you crazy? I was like, just try it.
Yeah.
Because at the moment you're putting triples, you shouldn't be.
It's a lot.
And then he tried it. He's like, oh my god, it's beautiful. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah. I was like, yeah, it's not 100%.
But then that's a lesson for him.
yeah.
That now he knows. And
Yeah, but I thought you already knew that. I
Yeah.
was like, that's why, don't assume.
Don't assume.
You
that
have to
people
tell
know-
him how to do it.
Don't assume that people know how to make a coffee.
But no, in this group, everyone's like professional, so everyone's like pretty much on it, and they
Yeah.
try different recipes because it's kind of a hobby for people.
Of course,
yeah,
it's like wine tasting and stuff.
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
People like.
But when
do
he
it
tried
different.
with less grams of coffee, he's like, "Oh my god, it's beautiful." I was like, oh, "Thanks God you
Yeah.
said that," because I thought it was like the coffee something wrong
Started
with
to
it.
worry. But I guess now you know that you know if
You
that
still,
comes up again.
you may
it's-
get 100 compliments and one complaint.
Yeah.
The one complaint that keeps you awake.
Yeah,
It is always that the matter.
but sometimes like that you can
Yeah.
change that complaint into.
When
a
I
positive.
started it, I had to give so many bucks to friends to give me feedbacks because you have to. That's
Which
your
ones
market, yeah. And 10 of them says beautiful, one of them says shit. You remember the one?
You remember that one?
You
Yeah.
remember that one? And you start questioning yourself, like, these 10 people,
And
are
this
they,
one-
are they telling me the truth or they're lying just to be nice to me? You don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
You have that in your mind that
Yeah,
maybe
and
they're just being polite.
Maybe they're just being polite because they got it for free.
Yeah.
They don't want to hurt your feelings. They're like, yeah, tell him it's nice. Beautiful. You never know.
Yeah, and it's
But
that one person that you.
That's
tend
one
to think of.
person.
Yeah.
It's like,
So I'm going to throw a bit of a question at you.
Go for it.
We'll start to wrap it up. So it's a bit of a difficult question for you. So if I was to give you £500
Okay,
and a laptop
alright.
to build a business,
Any business, service or product.
any business, but you can't do coffee. So
Okay.
You can't do what you're doing now.
I cannot do it with £500 a day.
yeah, you
Trying
can
to
do
think
it,
about
yeah.
it, but it's gonna take me ages.
But it could be anything. So I mean, I've had quite a few different answers. The one last week was training people. So it's like I don't even need the £500 because I could just train people on the laptop.
Yeah, right.
Genius. But
How you need to invest in a website and
well,
domains. and
it was saying like sell on Skype and.
still, you need to invest. You cannot do it
Invest in
without.
something.
Yeah.
So what
Very,
would you do?
very
with-
bold. Someone to say that without.
Yeah.
First of all, just you have to break down what you need to spend on what. So
Yeah.
let's say £12 to register a company or use Tide.
Yeah, Tide. Yeah, thank you. Little plug.
Yeah. To do everything for you.
Use Tide, but through my link.
Obviously, through your links. Okay. You have to break down everything. What would I do is use your link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good man.
To open Tide account. It depends if you want to be sole trade or limited company. Let's say limited company because it's easier and more costly.
Yeah.
Not more cost efficient, but okay.
More sense.
All sides. I'll do products because I like products. I'm not
Yeah.
good with services
Okay.
due to my English and like so many reasons.
Fair.
So products. £500 and a laptop. It has to be something that's easy accessible. So open an account. I'll open it with Squarespace probably
Okay.
because
so
it's the
like your
most
website.
most efficient e-commerce website.
Yeah.
I would love Shopify, but it's too expensive. Excuse me.
Shopify is quite expensive, isn't it? Yeah.
They put the prices up on the since the pandemic, so
Have they put them up? Because I haven't had a Shopify website for a few years, but
No,
I
the
know at
price-
that point it was.
compared to other e-commerces,
Yeah.
either WordPress or Squarespace. I'll use Squarespace because everything is built in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I've never been good with e-commerce or anything like that. So it has to be a product that's easy accessible and I can go face to face to sell it to either business to business is easier for me than business to consumer
Yeah.
because I don't want to use influencers. For me it doesn't work.
No.
For so many people it does, but what would I sell? It cannot be tea, it cannot be coffee, it cannot be hot chocolate for sure.
I mean, you can cheat and say it's hot chocolate.
Yeah, no, you don't have to cheat here. So many females or males doing bakery or candles, so I wouldn't go there because the demand is too high.
So you'd find something that's a bit niche.
It has to be
Right.
niche,
Yeah.
so it has to be niche. I'll probably find research on Alibaba, but again, because
Good.
of the cost efficient, now they've
I'm
charged
glad,
you so
I'm glad you
much.
suggested that because you know, for people who don't, this
Yeah.
is why I like the question because it brings out
Yeah,
people's
so-
knowledge of what they do.
You-
So Alibaba,
It's amazing.
It's incredible. You go on
Incredible.
there and it's
You negotiate,
Crazy. Yeah.
it keeps you like on your toes in your face, but you have to be ready to see how many months you can survive with this £500. That's the question here.
But you could essentially on there, for example, sunglasses or something you could go on, find, buy 500 of them for £1 each. and it's
Absolutely,
like-
you can, but you have to also think how long it's gonna take him to send it to you.
Yeah.
Because this is the other thing. We pick £500 full stop. So £12 company register. You have
Yeah.
£30 for
Website.
the website. You have to build it yourself, so it's gonna take a good week just to watch some YouTube
Yeah.
videos. Quite straightforward,
Yeah.
Squarespace, so it's no problem. Then get the product ready, send it to you. It has to be some niche that you can sell on Amazon and eBay, mainly eBay first.
Yeah, because on Amazon you need to pay their fees, don't you, I believe?
Yeah, £25, and you don't want to do that yet because you're too small. What would I sell? Is a good question. Or you know what? I may do like a services. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll find very strong person on Fiverr
Yeah.
and I'll resell their services. That's what I do.
That is a great answer.
That's what I do. Yeah.
I think that
I,
is.
I have just the people, and I can easily do. It's like, you can find a great social media managers there
Yeah.
for 1/4 of the cost, and just go through. You're gonna be the middleman. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll go with
So,
that.
to summarise,
Summarize. I'll become an SEO designer,
Yeah.
social media expert.
yeah. So you will set up a website,
Set up a website. Yeah,
will
30 quid. 12
offer
pounds
services
limited.
on there
Yeah.
like social media marketing,
Um,
building websites,
Yeah,
something like that.
design
So-
brochures,
design
everything.
brochures, everything.
Yeah, flyers,
But you will outsource
outsource it. Yeah,
that
absolutely. Yeah,
from people on Fiverr,
Yeah, on-
which are cheap.
it's so cheap.
That is a
LinkedIn.
really, really
yeah,
good.
we have agreement with that.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I like
I think that's one of the best answers.
Yeah,
'Cause
outsource it.
it's-
Best way.
You're outsourcing, and then I suppose it's that in my mind is a bit like drop shipping, but of services.
It's services,
Yeah.
and then, you don't have to be greedy there.
Yeah,
Because if someone costs you like £100 for the month to run social media, you charge 200,
Yeah.
50%. You're winning. And all you have to do is do the job.
yeah. There you go.
If they're not happy, we're not happy.
You're
so,
like the middleman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of letting someone pay £600, so
Yeah.
yeah, you're winning. Yeah.
I think it's good because obviously one of the things that I've always thought people might end up saying, and I thought more people would say, it, to be fair, would be drop shipping.
Yeah. No.
So if people don't know drop shipping, it's where you basically set up a website of,
Yeah.
some form of product. You then receive an order from the website, and then you then buy that, ship it directly to
Yeah.
the customer. The problem is with drop shipping is if you're buying your stuff directly from China or somewhere far away,
Yeah.
it's taking 6 weeks. People don't want to wait that long, so you need to find a supplier that's local, and your prices aren't really that much. Whereas a service like that,
It's so much easier.
instant,
Instant.
because
You find
it's
people-
just the time that it takes for
Yeah.
them to do it.
You just go on the Facebook group UK Small Business Owners.
Yeah.
Everyone's like looking for something there. Everyone.
Yeah.
I need a logo design. Yeah, sure. Come
Sure, I'll
to
do
come
it.
to
Come
Mario.
to me.
Yeah.
I like
I'll
it.
outsource it in a
Yeah.
second. Literally, just once you find 2-3 good connections,
Yeah.
agents on Fiverr,
Yeah.
whoever does deal with this, they don't charge much, and they'll get the job done.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a beautiful
And they'll
job.
agree to work in like a partnership, and I'm sure
They
down
wouldn't
the
even
line,
know.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't even
It's
know.
like-
But if you work close with them and kept
Yeah.
on working with them,
As far as you pay
can
them,
end up-
as far as you pay them on time, everyone's
Yeah.
happy. That's the most important thing. Make sure people get paid.
yeah.
If they get paid, they'll do everything.
I really like
Yeah.
that. So that's a good
Yeah,
one.
I would
I
say
like
so.
that. So where can people find you?
They can.
So your social medias and website.
Yeah, social medias, website, santasofia.co.uk. It's spelled with FI. I try to keep the website for obviously just so people can see the products and everything. I try to go myself to businesses, and I'm always out and around. Yesterday I was in a charity event. I was invited by my friends from Stoneacre Properties, if I can mention
Yeah.
that. Lovely
Mention
guys.
it
They
well,
were
yeah.
doing these kind hearts events. They were the main sponsors. Victoria was the organizer. It was marvelous in the Clarence Dock area, in the
Clarence
Dock Hall. Yeah.
Was that at the Royal Armouries? Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah, opposite. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing event for cancer
Yeah.
research and like donating. It was absolutely amazing. And so I try to be. You have to network all the time. People have to know what you're doing
Yeah.
and why you're doing it for. If you don't tell people, if you don't have to go and brag about it. I have coffee, like
Yeah.
I'm the one. But you have to mention it once.
Yeah.
Leave it sink. No, you don't start with the conversation with that, obviously. But
yeah, be a people person.
and you have to be you have to be a people person, but you have to be to different places all the time. It's like I try to go to as many cafes a day, restaurants. Try to be nice to everyone because I'm a nice. That's why I think I am a nice person
Yeah.
to people. And just make connections because you never know who's gonna help you.
No, that's good. And then finally, wrap it up just in one sentence if you
Yeah.
can. We've sort of covered quite a lot of it anyway.
Oh, we've been talking for how long
I
now?
know, I know.
It's like, 2 hours and a half.
Is it? Wow. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So in one sentence,
Go for it.
if you were to give someone advice at setting up a business,
Yeah.
what would it be?
You have to be passionate about it. In one sentence. Oh, I'm not ready for
So
one
very
sentence.
short, very
Yeah.
short one sentence.
Just don't listen to everyone. To anyone, sorry. Don't listen to anyone. Just be brave.
Be brave and get it done.
Get it done. That's it.
I
It's
like
like,
it.
but don't listen to people. That's my advice. Because if I had to listen to people,
You wouldn't have done.
I wouldn't have done anything. Literally, I wouldn't started it.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't listen to
I like
To,
it.
not to people, but don't listen to negative people.
Yeah.
I would say that's
If
my
people say
okay.
don't do it, don't start. your
My
business.
advice is don't listen to negative people. Just do it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you very much for coming
Thank
on.
you for having me.
I've had a lot of
It
fun.
was
It's been
amazing.
really, really
Thank
good.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. No, thank you for having
And
me.
everyone, head over and check it out. Thank you.
And hope you enjoy the coffee.
I will.